Yo guys, welcome in today's video. In today's video we are going to have a look at Bitcoin. We are going to have a look at some different charts like the Stablecoin Dominance, which are just very interesting, and I'm going to explain to you my strategy right here and how I'm basically going to play this and why I think this is the right way of doing the risk management. So guys, let's jump straight into it. Well, I want to start off, guys, with the Stablecoin Dominance, and I've been looking at these charts already quite a lot right here on the channel. I think it's very important because not a lot of people are looking at these charts. This is our edge. We have information that other people basically don't look at. That is the Stablecoin Dominance, and what we can see right here in the Stablecoin Dominance is that everything is just looking quite bullish, and that generally is bearish for Bitcoin because there is a inverse correlation between the dominance of the stablecoins and Bitcoin's price. And the reason why that is the stablecoin dominance basically measures the amount of liquidity in terms of percentages from the whole crypto market, how much of that is concentrated in stables. So the more that is concentrated in stables, the less it is concentrated in Bitcoin, which means it's bearish for Bitcoin, right? So the more bullish this chart looks, the more liquidity will flow into stables, most likely as a most probable outcome, which means liquidity will leave Bitcoin. So if we have a look at the US dollar Theta dominance right here, we got a clear ascending triangle entering from an uptrend. Just looks quite bullish. We have here the USDC chart actually in a declining channel, but so far we have a massive bullish divergence right here at the support, breaking some resistances, and right now trying to break the middle of the channel to the upside. But the most important chart, guys, is this one. This is both of them combined. This is US dollar Theta, USDC combined into one chart, and this just shows such a beautiful picture in terms of respect of levels. So we can see like we have a very clear resistance, very clear support, and yeah, this chart also is very bullish because we have a falling wedge formation with a potential W right here. And we just bounced from the support, broke out from the falling wedge formation, and right now knocking on the door of the resistance from the W. If we break out to the upside right here, that will definitely be bearish for Bitcoin. And I think we in a shorter term time frame, like we can get a big green candle right here, this chart can go up to the resistance right here. And I think if we reach that resistance at maybe 12 to 13%, that could be a great entry point for Bitcoin, because I would argue that if we go into this territory, that we are going to fight again with this uptrending support and this declining resistance. And it's very important because Bitcoin won't start a sufficient bull market until we break this support to the downside. That is very important to note, guys. It's very important for the bull market for Bitcoin that this support break to the downside, and that's why I moved a big part of my portfolio into stables the moment we broke this out to the upside. Going to explain you a little bit why as well. Before in 2018, 19, 20, 21, I was really the guy who always goes all in or all out in Bitcoin. I would always have my whole portfolio in, whole portfolio out, and most of the time the portfolio was in. I've rode 2 bear markets with most of my portfolio leaving that in Bitcoin with a 80% decline. That is really difficult, guys, and most of you maybe have done it as well. But I would tell myself, yeah, but if Bitcoin would decline, then I'll just wait longer, and then eventually it will go up. And that's true, it worked. It definitely worked, because my average entry for Bitcoin is like $3,000 US, maybe slightly higher than that, but it's a perfect entry. And the longer you wait, I think, well, that entry we're never going to reach again. But right now, I'm not doing that anymore. Why? Because the amount of liquidity or the amount of portfolio that I have right now is way bigger than back in those days where I could just go all in. And if I lose everything, it would be less significant than right now. Right now, if I would lose everything, it would be definitely life-changing. It would have a big influence on the way I'm living. And therefore, I think risk management is becoming more and more important. So I want to have a very quick talk about risk management. So the reason I'm hedging a part of my crypto portfolio into stables right here is because these charts are looking bullish and I want to wait the storm out until I get more confirmation. And if that means that this chart maybe turns around and just breaks down, then so be it. There are a couple of things that could happen. I could miss a rally, which is of course not nice because you want to be positioned in Bitcoin. However, I'm still in profit. And most likely I still made the right decision because this chart is looking bullish, and if it goes bearish, it's definitely the less likely outcome. The second reason, guys, is if it does turn on me, if this chart does turn on me, I can always re-enter. So I might have a slightly worse, I might pay a little bit premium for a slightly worse entry than when I go out in my exit, but I get a lot of safety back for that. Because let's say the chances is 70% this breaks out to the upside and 30% it breaks out to the downside, right? Then I have an exposure of 70% to get way more Bitcoin at a cheaper price because I sold it for my stables early on, right? And I have a 30% chance to maybe lose like 1, 2, 3% to get a little bit less better entry than if I would just hodl. Right, so that's why I took that step. I took that step in terms of risk management to take a part of this portfolio back into stables. I've shared that also over on WhaleAlerts at the moment that I was doing that. That is a private Telegram channel which you can basically join for free. If you join an exchange down below and you meet the deposit requirements, you can join that private Telegram too. But yeah, I still think it's a very good decision that I made. And I'm also going to wait it out because right now I would say the market is very divided. If we have a look at Bitcoin right here, and we can see that we had a clear uptrend at the beginning of this year. We broke that uptrend to the downside. Technically, we are still forming a higher low. A lot of people are saying that. Technically, that's true, but it's just not looking bullish. In 2019, we did something similar. We had an uptrend, and then the moment we lost that uptrend, we had rallies. There were rallies, definitely, but generally, the momentum was to the downside. There was not strong momentum right here. So generally, the trend is right now down. And I would say this is something similar. I would say generally, the trend is going to be down. But we are going to see these rallies and bounces in between to make you bullish again. For sure, this is something we are going to see. Another thing that bothers me a little bit, guys, is it's kind of crazy how everyone is getting so bullish on that Bitcoin spot ETF, right? Because a Bitcoin spot ETF apparently would make it possible for pension funds to invest in Bitcoins, in 401ks. Bitcoin will be in these 401ks. But even though we get that bullish news about most likely an ETF will be approved this year or next year, the price goes down. So that is also something to note, right? We see a Sheldon news event, and that tells us a lot about the market participants. Because when the market participants are all aware of something bullish, then there is no new liquidity for the price to go up, right? And that's what we are seeing right here as well. Makes me a little bit cautious too. So that combined, being in September, one of the most bearish months in crypto, makes me a little bit cautious right here. I think towards the end of the year, we could definitely see a little bit more bullishness. But for now, I'm really happy that I took that step and that I took a big part of my portfolio out just in stables, just to hedge and to wait and see what is going to happen with Bitcoin. So yeah, guys, this was my analysis of today. I still think that this chart eventually will break out to the upside. The big question will be for me whether this can also break up or whether we just get rejected from that resistance and then can break down. I would favor that scenario by far. But I definitely think we're first going to see some more upside in the stablecoin dominance, because if this chart would be Bitcoin, if Bitcoin would look like this chart, we would all long this chart, right? I mean, we got a falling wedge, bounce from support, breaking out to the upside, W formation, relative strength index, breaking resistance. This is just a very bullish chart. So yeah, guys, this is basically what I'm watching, and I'm very happy that we have those charts, because I see a lot of people in the Bitcoin price, they are super confused. They're flipping from long to short, and like no one really knows what's happening right here. We did lose the uptrend, but you see a lot of hopium that, yeah, no, but it's still a higher low. And if we look at the funding rates right here, it's positive, which basically means that the majority of the people are longing. Maybe they are right. Maybe we are going to suddenly see a massive bounce, or ETF gets approved. It is all possible. But these charts, the stablecoin dominance, which basically no one watches, can give us a little bit clarity, because these charts are just looking very bullish, and they help me to convince to take a little step back, to lower the risk a little bit, see what's going to happen, and then later check if we can re-enter. Maybe re-enter at lower levels, or maybe we're at the wrong side and have a slightly worse entry. But based on risk management, this is definitely way better. Guys, I want to thank you all for watching. If you like this video, make sure to leave a thumbs up. If you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. That is very much appreciated and very important. And also, of course, whenever we are going to reach that resistance, which will provide us with a very beautiful entry point for Bitcoin, I will share that over on the channel. Guys, I want to wish you all a beautiful day today, and I hope to see every single one of you in the next video.